Alright, what's up? We rolling here or what? Yeah. How you doing? Hank Vidjan. Just gotta keep an eye on this timer and the battery. So, yeah. If you don't know me, if you never watched the channel, and not many do, I don't really care about, like, being an influencer, having followers, etc. I post stuff, I don't post stuff. Doesn't really matter to me, right? But occasionally I'll come across some footage that I feel deserves some extra attention, some footage that I record while I'm kayak fishing in tournaments that seems out of the ordinary. It's not just me catching a fish, something happens, I do something, and I dedicate a little more attention to it. It might be just an exceptional day, it might be a fluke kind of moment. It could be any number of things. In this case, it's a very dangerous situation that I put myself in, and I decided to turn it into a bit of an instructional video. So here's what happened. I was in a tournament, Carolina Kayak Anglers end of year event. I was very excited. I was fishing a lake that very renowned for its big bites, and sure enough, I had pedaled in my Jackson Bite FD about 3 miles from a ramp to an area that historically is very good in the fall. So I was far away from help, and I caught like a 22-inch bass when I got into this part of the creek. I was excited, my adrenaline was slow, and I thought, okay, they're here, I'm going to catch some fish. So as you'll see in the video, I approach a laydown and I make a bad cast. I was fishing a Rebel popar, goes into the branches, and I can't get it out. And I don't want to go close to the laydown because I don't want to spook any fish that are around it. So I give the lure a couple of hops. Sometimes it just flips off. What happened, we had some flooding. It stripped the leaves off the branches, so they look dead, but they're not. I'm hoping that the branch is just going to snap. It's green. I pull it one time, the rod totally loads, branch loads, and then lure comes loose and makes a beeline for me. I ducked like this, and the lure just went directly into my cheek. So it was a Rebel popar. Imagine a lure like this. It was a larger size. It was the Magnum, right? So it flew at my face, and it came at me like this, and the number 2 hook on the back, as you'll see, just dug in. The 2 hooks, actually, of the treble dug in. So I had 1 hook exposed and 2 in. Yeah, I mean, I got lucky in the sense I didn't take it in the jugular. It didn't get under my glasses, into my eyeball. Very fortunate in that regard. Very unfortunate that I found myself 3 miles from a ramp, a mile from the nearest house, and there weren't any other boats or anglers around, so I couldn't ask for help in the removal process. So I did a few things badly there. I made a bad cast. I put my head down. I should have stayed up and kind of, you know, swung at the lure when it was coming back. As you'll see, I have a clip of me doing that and knocking a lure out of the air. Shouldn't have made the cast the way I did, though. I hurried it, and it was my fault. You'll see, however, that the video speeds up after the lure goes in, and it's because I sat there for about 3 minutes, like trying to figure out, okay, what's going on, because I can't see it. So here's the important part. As I was making the video, you'll see, or as I was removing the hook, I realized, oh, I have the video camera rolling. I turn around, I face the camera, and at one point I took a picture for reference purposes. I couldn't see what I was doing. You can't, like, you know, even if I did this, I could only see part of what was going on. So I had to figure out how to perform the removal without being able to see what I was doing, really. So I took a picture for reference purposes. I saw how the hooks were lined up. I got some braid, and here's what I did well. So after I made the mistakes, I collected myself and I did some problem solving. I used the technology around me. I was self-aware. I turned to the camera so I could get it on film, because I knew that in case if it worked, I could post it and it might be instructional, right? In the sense that it'll provide people some safety information and just kind of low, because look, I get it, like the pictures and the video, it's horrifying, right? But I'm not saying this to sound like a tough guy. I don't go for this kind of like be an alpha garbage that goes around these days. Whatever's happening here in our face in terms of nerve endings, there isn't a lot going on. The pain, like on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain of the hooks being in my face was like a 2. I was mildly surprised by that, and it helped me stay focused. It hurts much more to have a hook in your finger or your arm or even my leg. I hooked myself in my leg years ago, and that hurt more. So whatever's happening here on our cheeks is not quite as painful. I'm not sure why, but it just didn't hurt that much. That was a number 2 owner hook with the feathers in it. It's a big hook, so I had anticipated some pain when I realized, so I collected myself, and here's what I did well. I stayed calm. I did some problem solving with the technology. I mentioned that. And I went back to just the experience of removing hooks previously, or having it done for me. This time I just had to figure out how to do it by myself. So the really big challenge was tying the right kind of knot and pulling it so that it caught on the open end of the hook. So if you look at it this way, you find a hook. Yeah, here's a treble hook. These are some vector hooks I just bought. And the idea, watch me hook myself while I'm demonstrating how to unhook myself. The idea goes something like this. The hook was buried in with these two, so I had this barb or this hook exposed. So I only had that one piece sticking out, and I had to get the hoop or the loop over it and pull it tight. So if you know anything about removing a hook from yourself, you have got to get it so that you can hold it down like this at the eye of the hook, and then pop it out the other way. So I'll do it like on my leg. You have to hold it like this and pop it like that. I'm not going to do a Chad Hoover. If you want, look up his video where he puts the hook in his own leg. I'm done with all that. I managed to get the hook out. It's a little bloody for a minute, so if you're squeamish, you might not want to watch that part. I slowed down some parts of the video. I left the complete footage in here. The reason I did that and allowed for that duration of the footage was to capture or communicate just the time that it took to figure it out and get this damn hook out. You'll see that there's one point where I try to like pop the hook out and my hand slips on the braid. I put a glove on. Squeamish moments, there are quite a few. It's not just the bloody part. At one point you can see the hooks like poking out almost through my cheek. Like the hook went in and it started to come out again almost as I was turning it. And I realized that wouldn't be good, because then I'm double hooked on the same hook if I get the barb through. So I had to be careful. I could feel it like with my finger as it was trying to poke out. it's pretty gruesome. I'm not going to lie, I was worried. The video shows that my adrenaline was up. You can see I'm shaking a little bit at some points because I realize if I don't get this done, I'm in for a really, really long day. And if I can't get help to do it nearby, I'm going to be heading to the ER and looking at a hefty deductible to pay. So I was methodical, but I was also concerned. That's the best probably description for it. I hope that people are going to keep um, that in mind if they ever hook themselves, especially in the face or anywhere around the head and neck. Very dangerous situation. Please be careful. I made a really stupid mistake. I regret it, and I'm trying to salvage some dignity, but also share the experience and use it to teach other people what you can do in this situation. I got lucky that the hooks went in a certain way. I was able to do this and pop them out. Now, I only got them one at a time, so I actually had to do it twice. It was brutal. Once I did keep fishing, however, and you'll see I caught a fish. I reattached the lure to the popper, and I caught a fish a few minutes later with the same hook and lure. The next day, I sent a note to my doctor, and I was advised to get a DTaP shot. That's diphtheria, tetanus, and something else. Your tetanus booster, if you're an angler, you should have that done at the maximum once every 10 years. I was about 7 years out from my previous booster, so I went and had it done to be on the safe side. They say within 5 to 7 years it depends on the wound and the hook, etc. I had a new hook. The wound wasn't too bad, but tetanus is not something that you want. They used to call it lockjaw for a reason, and it will kill you. So no joke there. Go get a DTaP booster if you haven't had one for a while and you're prone to injuring yourself with hooks and other metal pointy objects like I am. I've got to get better about safety. I've gotten better about kayak safety over the years. I'm more mindful of a lot of things, but this time I made a really stupid mistake, but I recovered. So I'm sharing this video with everybody. I want to thank Jackson Kayak, the boat that I took out there. Was just comfortable. It allowed me to turn and do things. The stability, the steering, just all the maneuverability that goes with the Jackson brand. I was very grateful for it at that moment because I really felt like I was in a situation in terms of my gear that I could control that, and I had everything I needed. Always keep braid in your kayak. That's a last point I want to make. If you fish with mono or fluorocarbon a lot, like I do, I don't fish with braid a lot. Sometimes the rods that have braid stay here in my workshop, and I always have a long section of braid for moments like this. It's come in handy 2 or 3 times before when I've been hooked. So, share this, smash the like button. I appreciate you watching these videos that I put up. They're humble, but I do my best in terms of just sharing information and, just whatever, spreading the gospel of kayak fishing to whoever will listen. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, be safe on the water, and get a tetanus booster, damn it. All right? See ya. Fish, because the laydowns obstruct casting lanes. Boom. You saw that? Yeah. Defense. So, I got a popper in my cheek. Right? See it? Nice little decoration. They're pretty good. I gotta get this hook out. And then we need a split ring open to get the hook out. Got the split ring. There it is. Okay, good. That's a start. Right. Now, some braid. I know I got some braid in here. Just these occasions. Stupid, this is my fault. If I can't get it out, I'll just fish with a hook in my face. But, to quote my friend Bartleby, I would prefer not to. Pliers out here just in case they come in handy. So, the next thing to do is make myself more handsome. So what do we got here? There's a motherfucker. I got two of them in me? I do. Shit. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna have to remove it. I got two fucking hooks in my face. How am I gonna tie this? I gotta think on the outside. Picture for consultation. All right, I think I can get this out. Thing is that it doesn't hurt. Little karma, catching fish, leave one back to me. I should pass this through. This the easy way. One. Got one. Good. All right. Got one out. Now I got to get the other one. Okay. Tie. We're making progress. We're making progress. Calm and steady. Calm and steady. And retie. Oh man. We've got my terrible towel. Catch some fish out of here later. Slow and steady. No panic here. Good. No panic. Right? No panic. Okay, so this one now. Gotta get it behind the barb. Under here. Yep, got it. Okay. Got it. Got it. Alright, now let me make sure. Get the knot on there. Yep, got it. Got it. Oh man. This might actually work. I don't think this one is in as deep. Shit. Slip on the braid. One, two. I'm gonna keep fishing. I'm gonna catch fish on that hook. What?